Okay, let's unpack this. Today we're taking a deep dive into a truly powerful and surprising story, one that unfolds entirely over a single intense day right here in New York City.
Yeah, it's really something. We're talking about Nicola Yoon's novel, The Sun is Also a Star.
Exactly. And just imagine meeting someone and having your entire world, your deepest beliefs, maybe even your destiny, totally reshaped in, what, 24 hours?
That's the core of it. That's what we're exploring today.
Yeah, this deep dive, we're going to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from this really unique narrative. We'll look at its structure, which is intricate, its themes, immigration, identity.
And that big one, right? Fate versus science, that constant tension.
Absolutely. All while following this intense kind of whirlwind romance between Natasha and Daniel.
Think of it like a shortcut, a way to really get how one single day can pack in a whole universe of human experience.
Exactly. We've gone through the novel, pulling out all the compelling details, the insights, really trying to highlight not just what happens, but why it matters, you know?
And how Yoon weaves it all together. Because what's fascinating is how she uses such a compressed timeline to explore these huge, complex themes.
Right.
It's like a masterclass in making every single moment, every interaction just resonate with deeper meaning. Like, take Natasha's bedroom setup. It's not just background.
No.
No, it's a literal picture of her worldview. It shows that tension between her need for scientific order and these chaotic, uncontrollable forces hitting her deportation, this sudden attraction.
I think she can't plot on a star map.
Exactly. And that becomes this recurring symbol of her internal conflict. So every scene she's in has that deeper layer, you know? It's way more than just a romance.
Yeah, it's social commentary, it's philosophy.
A character study all rolled into one. It really asks you to pay attention.
That's a great point. It shows how deliberate the author is. Nothing feels accidental. And as you start this journey with Natasha and Daniel, you see that meticulous crafting right away.
Oh, immediately.
So the day begins. Their paths are already miles apart, pressured by really different, but like equally defining circumstances. Let's start with Natasha. Her day kicks off under this crushing weight of, well, fate. Unavoidable fate.
Yeah, exactly. We first meet Natasha Kingsley, and right away you get her worldview. She's a scientific rationalist. Facts, logic. That's her anchor.
Which she needs considering her family is facing immediate deportation back to Jamaica.
And it's not some abstract threat. It's happening today, like in hours. The novel just slams you with how precarious their situation is.
And it all stems from her father's actions, doesn't it? His DUI brought their undocumented status to light.
Right, which put the whole family in this terrible spot. It's such a stark example of how one decision, maybe years ago, can just cascade catastrophically.
Yeah, ripple effects. Yet even with deportation looming, Natasha actually refuses to pack.
She clings to that belief in facts, in logic. She won't give in to hope or fate. She sees that as, what, irrational, unscientific.
It feels like this defiant act almost, like self-preservation. Refusing to acknowledge this end she can't control. What about her room? You mentioned her room.
It shows that conflict perfectly. It's like a visual metaphor for her mind, her side. Books, science texts, is this huge NASA star map.
Oh, yeah, the map.
Not just any map. It's all the major stars, constellations, and sections of the Milky Way visible from the northern hemisphere, 8 posters taped together. It's this ordered, fact-based universe she's built.
Wow, and that's contrasted with
Her younger brother Peter's side. Already packed. And Peter, he was born in America, but he actually wants to go to Jamaica. He's packing while listening to Bob Marley, No Woman, No Cry, calls it his old-school packing music.
That's fascinating. Such a twist on expectations. The U.S.-born sibling romanticizing the homeland.
While Natasha clings to the only home she really knows, it highlights this really interesting generational cultural divide within the family.
And it adds layers to her cynicism about love, too, right? Seeing her parents' messy relationship, her dad's unfulfilled dreams, her mom's resentment.
Plus her recent breakup with Rob, the guy who cheated on her.
Yeah. It all frames her outlook. The book says she's not a crier. It really emphasizes that emotional detachment. Love is messy, illogical, leads to pain. So she builds this wall.
Definitely. And that wall is going to be seriously tested today.
This practical approach, it even extends to where she's headed today, doesn't it?
Right. The office of an immigration lawyer, Lester Barnes. It's her last, best hope. A miracle, maybe.
But it's a miracle she doesn't actually believe in.
Exactly. Her scientific determinism clashes with that very human need for just a sliver of hope, even when things look hopeless. She's going through the motions, the logical steps, even if her heart isn't buying it.
So while Natasha's world is spiraling towards this, like, logical but crushing end across town, another story is starting.
A very different vibe. Daniel J. Hobe.
Right. His day is also beginning, but the pressure is totally different. He's off to a Yale admission interview.
Yeah, and this isn't just any interview. It's like the peak of this path laid out for him by his first-generation Korean immigrant parents.
They expect him to be a doctor. Full stop.
Absolutely. It's the path they see as guaranteeing security, success. His dad, especially, he sees money and happiness as, like, intertwined, driven by his own past with poverty back in South Korea.
He calls poverty a contagion. Right.
Yeah. It's this deep fear fueling his push for his sons to get into these secure, high-earning professions. It's a really common immigrant parent motivation, but Yoon shows the weight of it.
It's that classic narrative, but with such nuance. Parents sacrifice everything, then put this huge, sometimes suffocating pressure on the kids to achieve a specific kind of success.
Meanwhile, Daniel's inner world, it wants poetry.
A dream his father doesn't disapprove of out loud, but definitely disapproves.
Oh, you feel that unspoken disapproval. It creates this constant battle inside Daniel, duty versus passion.
He's caught between his parents' definition of success and his own artistic drive. A lot of young people can relate to that, I think.
And it's compounded by his identity struggles, right? Feeling not Korean enough for his parents.
But not American enough for others. Always treated as foreign.
It's that in-between space, and his coping mechanism is fascinating. These sarcastic, wild stories when people ask where he's really from.
Like escaping Kim Jong-un's piranha dungeon.
Exactly. It's his way of deflecting, coping with feeling like he doesn't fully belong anywhere. It's more complex than just assimilation.
And then there's the brother, Charlie, the overachieving asshole.
Who used to be the perfect son, the model immigrant success story, but now he's not so perfect.
Which puts even more pressure on Daniel, right? He's the next hope for the family. The fear of failure must be huge.
Huge. But here's the key difference with Natasha. Daniel approaches his day with this romantic optimism. He believes in destiny. He's actually looking for a sign from the universe.
Complete opposite of Natasha's logic-driven approach.
Totally. And his journey starts on this magic fucking train, where the conductor is literally evangelizing, telling people to find God if you look for him.
Setting the stage perfectly.
It really does. It's the perfect, almost spiritual setup for him to notice Natasha. It's a deliberate choice by Yoon to immediately throw that fate versus free will debate right at you. Daniel sees cosmic nudges, Natasha sees coincidence.
And boom, collision course. The universe or destiny or whatever you want to call it throws them together.
In the most unexpected way, Daniel's sign literally appears. It's Natasha, and she's wearing a leather jacket
with DS Ex Machina on the back.
God from the machine, which, for Daniel, with his belief system, it's unmistakable. A divine prompt, follow her.
It's so direct, such great symbolism.
No, absolutely. And the irony, of course, is Natasha, the scientist, is wearing the symbol of fate, of divine intervention, and probably has no idea.
Or maybe she does, and it's just a cool jacket.
Maybe. But it sets up that central tension perfectly. Meanwhile, Natasha herself, she just had this very public, kind of embarrassing religious musical experience.
To Chris Cornell's Hunger Strike.
Yeah, which he notes is super depressing, but she loves it. Anyway, she's mortified and ducks into the Second Coming record store to hide.
We've all been there. The public cringe moment.
Totally. But then, bam! Fate, or just terrible luck, intervenes again. She sees her ex-boyfriend Rob's
The one who cheated.
with his new girlfriend Kelly, and they're shoplifting.
No way. What a scene.
Totally chaotic, emotionally charged, and that's the backdrop for their first meeting.
So how does that go down?
It's incredibly awkward. Daniel, being earnest and romantic, just sticks out his hand for a shake.
A handshake? Oh, Daniel.
Even he knows it's lame. He thinks, who meets a cute girl and shakes her hand? Charlie would said something charming.
Poor guy. And Natasha.
She's completely focused on her own crisis, the shock of seeing Rob. She just curtly dismisses him. Have a nice life, Daniel. Ouch.
Wow. Talk about a clash. His optimism, her Total desperation and distraction.
But Daniel doesn't give up. He's following the sign, right? So he follows her to a coffee shop.
Persistence. Or maybe destiny.
Or both. And their conversation there just instantly highlights their opposite worldviews. It's funny, but also really insightful.
They talk about time travel.
Yeah. Natasha starts explaining, the science. The grandfather paradox. If you go back and stop your own existence, logic breaks. And the Novikov self-consistency principle physics would prevent paradoxes. Very Natasha.
All facts and principles. And Daniel.
He's just captivated by the idea of changing the past, the romance of it, the what if. He's not into the scientific limits. He's into the possibility of altering fate.
Which leads them to talking about what they want to be, right? Their dreams.
Exactly. Natasha, ever practical, wants to be a data scientist.
Makes sense for her. Separate the noise from the signal, discern patterns, draw conclusions. All about finding order, objective truth.
Right. And Daniel, the dreamer, he wants to be a poet.
Of course he does. Someone who offers wise and poetic counsel. The guy world leaders consult on nasty philosophical problems.
His ambition is all about subjective interpretation, emotional truth, guiding humanity through art, completely different lenses on the world.
But there's clearly a spark there, pulling these opposites together.
A huge spark. And this unexpected connection leads them to try using those 36 questions.
Oh, the ones designed to make people fall in love, or at least feel intimacy quickly.
Yeah, based on that psychology experiment, it's supposed to build rapid closeness. And a key question they pick is about their parents.
Which opens the door to deeper, more personal stuff.
Absolutely. It paves the way for understanding their backgrounds, the forces that shape them. It's kind of an interesting approach, right? Using a structured, almost scientific method to force intimacy.
Especially for Natasha, maybe. It's like, okay, here's a logical framework for exploring emotion.
Could be. It definitely challenges her emotional walls using a method she might theoretically respect.
So that leads us deeper into their families, those foundational influences. Let's start with Natasha's family. Her dad's dreams kind of became their nightmare, didn't they?
In a way, yeah. Her father, Samuel Kingsley, he came to America 2 years before the rest of the family.
To become an actor.
A Broadway actor. Yeah, that was the plan. Make it big, then bring them over. He was apparently really talented, excellent, transcendent on stage. He believed in that American promise talent leads to success.
But it didn't work out that way. His pursuit of that dream led to financial hardship.
And crucially, their undocumented status. The irony is brutal. His artistic ambition chasing one kind of American dream led directly to their legal nightmare and deportation.
And her mom, Patricia. She's frustrated.
Deeply frustrated. She calls Samuel's dream foolishness, a dream fantasy. She highlights the massive toll it took on the family, the instability, the legal jeopardy.
And we learned Patricia had her own artistic side, too.
Yeah, a secret she shares with Daniel's mother, actually. Patricia used to paint these intricate insect drawings, brightly colored and beautiful, capturing nature's details.
But she gave it up.
For the family, sacrificed her passion for practical necessity. It draws this really interesting parallel between the two families, showing the sacrifices immigrant parents make, sometimes losing parts of themselves.
Which adds another layer to the expectations both Natasha and Daniel feel.
Definitely. And for Natasha, being undocumented is this constant weight. It defines her sense of belonging. She talks about how it means she could never go home again.
How even her home wouldn't feel like home, just another foreign place to read about.
It's not just physical borders, it's psychological. Severing her connection, making her feel like an outsider in both worlds, that uncertainty fuels her need for logic, trying to control a world that feels out of control.
Meanwhile, Daniel's family reality is just as complex, especially when he takes Natasha to their shop.
Right, the family business, black hair care, selling products specifically for black hair.
Yeah.
And the novel gives this crucial historical context.
About how South Koreans came to dominate that industry.
Yeah, rooted in the 1960s wig market and distribution networks that basically shut everyone else out. It wasn't just random opportunity. It was a specific, complex economic history.
Which Daniel's father, Dae-hyun, doesn't seem aware of.
No, he just sees America as the land of opportunity. Pure and simple. He doesn't grasp the complicated history behind their niche.
And that shapes his focus on money, on Daniel becoming a doctor.
Completely. He sees the American dream purely through economics, not cultural understanding or personal fulfillment, which leads to that incredibly tense scene at the shop.
When Daniel introduces Natasha to his dad and brother Charlie.
Oh, it's rough. Charlie, the overachieving asshole, immediately goes after Daniel, mocks him for having Korean friends, studying Korean, says Korean is all you are. We're not even from the goddamn country.
Wow. Highlighting Daniel's whole not Korean enough, not American enough struggle. And Charlie's own issues, maybe.
Totally. Projecting his own discomfort. And then the dad.
He tries to give Natasha a hair relaxer, tells her to make your hair not so big.
Yeah. It's jarring, uncomfortable. It just lays bare these racial biases, these beauty standards Natasha faces. It's a huge moment for Daniel, forcing him to confront his family's prejudice.
And choose a side, in a way.
Absolutely. He's struggling, caught between cultures, and Natasha gives him this simple, powerful truth right then. You're from here.
Just what he needs to hear. Recognition. Acceptance.
It's a huge step for him, that affirmation of his American identity.
And we also learn more about the dad's past, right? Why he pushes so hard.
Yeah, back in South Korea, he was supposed to inherit this harsh crab fishing business. He sees that life, that poverty, as a contagion he escaped.
So pushing his sons towards medicine is his way of protecting them.
Exactly. Fierce love, fierce protectiveness, but expressed through this immense pressure. It connects back to Natasha's family, too. Parental sacrifice, unintended consequences. Both fathers trying to secure a better future, create new struggles for their kids.
It's heavy stuff.
Yeah.
But somehow, amidst all this chaos and impending doom, they find these moments. Real joy, real intimacy.
Yeah, this is where the novel's magic really kicks in, showing connection against the odds. Like at the Norbang, the Korean karaoke place.
Place for letting loose, right?
Totally. And Natasha, the pragmatic scientist, she completely floors Daniel. She chooses Soundgarden's Fell on Black Days,
which he calls one of the most depressing songs ever written, but she loves it.
Yeah. It's this raw, emotional moment, her letting that vulnerability show, and it leads to their first kiss, a connection she feels everywhere.
Is her letting that logical facade crack.
Absolutely. Allowing emotion in. A huge step for the not a crier. It's partly expressing her own despair, maybe, but also surrendering emotionally in front of him, showing him a hidden part of herself.
And their philosophical chats continue, too, on a rooftop.
Yep. Daniel, the poet, says stars are important, symbols of destiny, possibility.
And Natasha, the scientist, challenges him. Why not more poems about the sun? The sun is also a star, and it's our most important one.
And Daniel, completely smitten, just declares, I will only write poems about the sun from now on.
That's beautiful. It's like he's shifting focus from the abstract, distant fate to the essential thing right in front of him.
Her, their connection. Finding wonder in the present, not just the cosmic unknown.
Yeah. And Daniel shares his belief. You know, we're all connected, everyone on Earth, even the bad people. His optimistic, interconnected worldview.
Well, and Natasha talks about the science. Dark matter, the inside of a human cell.
Yeah, finding common ground in the sheer wonder of existence, whether it's through spiritual connection or scientific intricacy, showing that opposing views can actually meet.
But then, reality bites, the romantic bubble bursts.
Inevitably. Natasha gets the call from Attorney Fitzgerald's office. The deportation is confirmed. No miracle.
The logical outcome she braced for but hoped against, it just cuts right through their moment.
And here's where that narrative structure, the interconnectedness, really hits hard again. The lawyer himself, Jeremy Fitzgerald.
Yeah.
At that exact moment, he gets hit by a car. A BMW driven by a drunk and distraught man.
Whoa.
It's a near-death experience. Makes him totally reevaluate his life. And right then, he admits he loves his paralegal, Hannah Winter.
And her story then weaves in, too. Yeah, it affects his kids' futures, everything. It's that butterfly effect again. One random tragedy triggers this chain reaction of revelations and decisions for people who seem totally unconnected.
It really drives home how linked everyone's lives are, even by chance. So Daniel senses this finality from Natasha's news.
And he just lays it out there. I really love you. It doesn't matter if you say it back. I just want you to know it. Raw, vulnerable, selfless.
Wow. That's huge. Believing in their connection despite the impossibility. But then her phone rings again.
Yeah, the lawyer's office again. Just this cruel reminder. Time is up. The real world crashing back in.
And their conversation gets intense.
Painful. Raw. They have their biggest debate yet about fate versus free will. Natasha lashes out, using logic as a shield.
Yeah.
You only see things that are right in front of your face.
And Daniel pushes back. Better than seeing things that aren't there.
Yeah. It's their core conflict under immense pressure. Daniel feels hurt, asks, was I kissing myself back there? Needing reassurance it was real.
And Natasha. She said something devastating, right?
Yeah. In peak vulnerability, pain, maybe projection. She
Mhm.
says, "You're just like my father," linking him to the man whose dreams led to her family's mess. Oof.
That's rough. Exposing her deepest wounds.
But right there in that mess of pain and hurt, her walls finally crumble completely. She admits it. "I love you, Daniel."
Wow. Finally, not rational, just
Yeah.
feeling. An emotional breakthrough.
A total breakthrough, testament to their connection.
So time's almost gone. What does Daniel do?
He insists on going with her, home to meet her family, then to the airport. He acknowledges their compressed history, how they're trying to fit a lifetime into a day.
Trying to make it permanent somehow? Create memories?
It's this act of deep commitment, showing how much he believes in them despite everything.
And on the taxi ride,
Yeah.
there's a driver, Miguel.
Yeah, he's this quiet, knowing presence. He's had his heart broken before. He just observes their frantic intimacy, a silent witness.
And they do the last intimacy questions.
Yeah. More raw, vulnerable truths. Daniel would save his notebook from a fire. His poetry is inner world.
And Natasha.
She says she don't have anything yet she'd save. Still feeling unrooted, uncertain, it highlights her journey.
And the question about whose death would be most disturbing.
Natasha says her dad's, because he's not done yet. Still some hope there, maybe. A desire for his redemption.
And Daniel.
He says Natasha's death. Without hesitation, "You're my family." Gut punch.
Oh, man. Just absolute commitment. Soulmate level stuff.
Totally. Then they have that 4 minutes of just staring, trying to memorize each other. Hurt settles into their bones, whispering promises, calls, emails, flights.
Knowing deep down that time and distance are love's natural enemies.
Yeah. It's such a bittersweet end to their day. Intense connection, unavoidable separation, perfectly captures their whole story.
And that bittersweet ending leads right into the unavoidable distance. The reality after the whirlwind. The airport goodbye. It's heavy.
Filled with unspoken things, and Natasha thinks, this time next year I'll be someplace else. I'm not sure college is for me. At least not Yale. At least not yet. Am I making a mistake? Maybe. But it's mine to make.
That's a huge shift for her, isn't it? From the girl needing scientific certainty at the start of the day.
Massive shift. She's embracing uncertainty now, making her own choices, even if they're mistakes, accepting the messy, unpredictable nature of life that Daniel kind of represents. She's been transformed.
So years pass. What happens?
The novel jumps forward. Natasha enrolls in school in Kingston, Jamaica. She develops a new accent, a small detail, but it shows her adapting, integrating, building a new identity.
And Daniel?
He works 2 jobs, goes to Hunter College part-time, majors in English, and he writes small, sad poems about her. He holds on.
But the distance, it takes its toll.
It does. He hears the cadence of her slipping away from him and her new accent on their calls. Communication fades. That time and distance proves too powerful. Even the strongest connections can erode.
The book doesn't sugarcoat that separation, does it?
Not at all. 5 years later, Natasha's mother dies. Natasha thinks about calling Daniel, but doesn't. It has been far too long. The memory is still there, but the immediate connection, the ability to share that grief, it's gone. Time and distance did their work.
Wow. That's heartbreakingly real. But life goes on for their families.
Yeah, showing resilience, new paths. Her brother Peter thrives in Jamaica, finds his place, marries, names his daughter Patricia Marley Kingsley, honoring their mom and their new roots.
And her dad, Samuel.
He continues acting in local theater in Jamaica, finally pursuing his passion, maybe a form of redemption, or just finding peace. People find their way, even if it's not the way they planned.
And throughout this, the novel keeps coming back to that idea of interconnectedness, right? Carl Sagan's metaphor.
Exactly, Daniel reflects on it. Everything looks like chaos up close. If you pull back far enough and wait for long enough, then order emerges. Maybe their universe is just taking longer to form.
That's a beautiful thought. Like, even in chaos, there's an underlying pattern, a grand design, if you have the perspective to see it. It kind of merges Daniel's faith and Natasha's science.
Perfectly put. And the story really hammers home the butterfly effect with those minor characters, how small actions ripple outwards. Remember Irene, the security guard?
The one Natasha thanked through the lawyer.
Yeah, that simple thank you. It came just as Irene was planning to commit suicide that day.
No way.
Natasha's unexpected kindness saved her life. Irene then becomes a flight attendant, finding purpose in comforting lonely travelers, paying extra attention because she knows how bad loneliness feels.
That's incredible. A life saved by a passing moment of gratitude.
It shows the profound power of fleeting human interactions.
And the drunk driver who hit the lawyer, Jeremy Fitzgerald.
His act of recklessness, born from his own despair, sets off that chain reaction. Fitzgerald leaves his family for his paralegal, Hannah Winter.
which impacts his kids' lives.
Right. They grow up understanding love differently because of their parents' choices triggered by that accident. One person's crisis reshapes the emotional landscape for so many others. Every interaction matters.
You really feel that woven through the whole book.
And then, the payoff. 10 years later, that butterfly effect comes full circle, showing the order Daniel hoped for.
How?
Irene, the former security guard, now a flight attendant, she sees Natasha and Daniel on a plane together.
Whoa, after 10 years.
10 years, all those seemingly random events, the conductor, the jacket, the shoplifting ex, the car crash, Daniel's belief in signs, it all converges. It's not just a reunion, it validates that whole idea of interconnectedness, of destiny, or maybe just the power of persistent human connection.
So it leaves the door open.
Yeah.
Fulfills Daniel's idea about multiverses where they end up together.
It suggests that maybe, given enough time, the order can emerge from the chaos. It's hopeful, but it acknowledges the long, hard journey it took to get there. It wasn't easy.
Okay, so here's where it gets really interesting thinking about it all. We've done this deep dive into The Sun is Also a Star, seeing how Natasha and Daniel's lives just collided over one intense day.
Bound by deportation, pulled by this incredible new love.
We've seen fate and choice doing their dance, how cultural identity shapes us, how tiny interactions can ripple out and literally save lives.
It really makes you think about those brief encounters, family expectations versus your own dreams, and that age-old question, destiny or free will.
The novel really pushes you to consider how a fleeting moment can change everything, not just for you, but for everyone connected to you.
Yeah, it connects the cosmic and the really intimate, reminds us that even small human stories are part of this huge, unfolding universe.
So, wrapping up, what does this mean for you listening? The story challenges us, right? Do you lean towards destiny, or do you think we carve our own paths with our choices?
How have those brief encounters with strangers maybe shaped your life in ways you only realize later or maybe never realized at all?
And can love really spark in a day and last across oceans and years? Or does it have to change into something else?
Maybe the sun is also a star. Maybe every connection, every single moment really does matter in the grand scheme of things.
Definitely something to think about. Here's something else to mull over, building on what we discussed. If Daniel and Natasha had not found each other again after those 10 years, would that order Daniel believed in still have emerged somehow from the chaos of their separation?
Or would their story just be that beautiful, tragic one-day thing, a testament to what might have been, but ultimately lost to time and distance? Does the universe always find order, or only sometimes?
Something to explore on your own.